You know what's funny? I always thought dying would be quieter. But no, there I was, stinger deep in human flesh, my insides literally ripping out of my body, and all I could think was, well, this is embarrassing. I'm dead now, obviously. You probably figure that out from the title. But here's the thing. I'm not here to make you feel guilty. Okay, maybe a little guilty, but mostly I'm here to tell you my story. Because I need you to understand something. That sting, that moment that ended my life, I'd do it again. Every single time. But we'll get to that. Trust me, you're not ready for that part yet. My name. Well, I never really had one. You humans name your dogs, your cats, even your cars. But bees, we're just the bees. Collective noun. Like we're not individuals. Like we don't have dreams. Spoiler alert, we do. I was a worker bee. Female, by the way. Yeah, most of us are ladies. The boys, they literally do nothing except, well, you know, and then they die. Honestly, not a great deal for anyone involved. Me, I was born to work, and I was good at it. Really good. Right now, I'm speaking to you from somewhere else. Let's call it the Great Meadow in the sky. It's peaceful here. Lots of flowers. No humans with tennis rackets. It's nice. But before I got here, before that final moment, I lived a life. A real life. With purpose. With family. With love. Today, I'm going to tell you my entire story. From my first flight to my last breath. Get comfortable. This is going to hurt. Mostly me, but also maybe you. Let me take you back to the beginning. I was born in the hive. 60,000 sisters, a few thousand useless brothers, and one queen, our mother, the center of everything. You think your family is complicated. Try sharing a house with 60,000 siblings. The bathroom situation alone. Actually, we don't have bathrooms. We're very clean, though. Cleaner than most humans I've observed. I've seen your kitchens. No judgment. Okay, some judgment. My first few weeks, I was a nurse bee, feeding babies, cleaning cells. Basically, I was an unpaid intern. No benefits, no vacation days. Just work, work, work. But I didn't mind, because I had purpose. Every single thing I did mattered. Every larva I fed would grow up to help the hive. Every cell I cleaned would house the next generation. You humans spend years trying to find your purpose. We are born knowing ours. Honestly, it's kind of nice. My sisters and I would work side by side, humming together, moving in perfect harmony. You know that buzzing sound you find so annoying? That's us communicating. That's us singing. That's us being a family. At night, we'd cluster together for warmth. Thousands of tiny bodies, all connected, all protecting each other. I'd fall asleep surrounded by the gentle vibration of my sister's wings. It was beautiful. It was home. And then I turned 21 days old, and everything changed. Day 21, the day I became a forager. You have no idea what's coming next. I still remember my first flight. The guard bees at the entrance gave me the nod. I walked to the edge of the hive, looked out at the world, and terrifying, absolutely terrifying. The sky was so big, so open, no walls, no ceiling, just endless blue and blinding light. I almost turned back, I swear, my wings were shaking, but then I felt the sun on my body for the first time, actually felt it. Warm,
golden, like the world was hugging me. And I jumped. For a moment, I fell. My wings weren't cooperating. Panic. Pure panic. This is it, I thought. Shortest forager career in history. Death by gravity. How embarrassing. But then instinct kicked in. My wings found their rhythm. 230 beats per second. I wasn't falling anymore. I was flying. You humans dream about flying. You build machines. You jump out of planes. You do all these crazy things just to feel what I felt in that moment. Freedom. Pure, absolute freedom. The world below me was a patchwork of colors. Green fields, yellow flowers, blue pools of water. Everything was alive. Everything was calling to me. And the smells. Oh, the smells. You have no idea. Your human noses are basically decorative. But me, I could smell a flower from a mile away. Lavender to the east, roses to the west, clover everywhere. Paradise. I spent that first day exploring, learning, memorizing. You know, we have built-in GPS, you know. My brain was mapping everything. The position of the sun, the landmarks, the location of every flower patch within flighting distance. By the time I returned to the hive, I was exhausted. But I was different. I wasn't just a bee anymore. I was a forager, a provider, a tiny flying miracle. At least that's what I thought. But here's the thing nobody tells you about being a forager. It's dangerous, really dangerous. And I was about to find out exactly how dangerous. The incident happened on day 34 of my life. I know, 34 days doesn't sound like much, but for a bee, that's middle-aged. I had responsibilities. I had a reputation. I was one of the best foragers in the hive. Humble? No. Accurate? Yes. That morning started like any other. Wake up, eat some honey, quick grooming session, head to the entrance. But something felt different. The air was heavy, humid. There was a tension in the hive I couldn't explain. The queen was restless. I could feel it. We all could. When she's stressed, we are all stressed. It's like, you know, when your mum's in a bad mood and the whole house feels different. Like that. Except our mum controls our entire society with pheromones. Family, am I right? I should have stayed home that day. I felt it in my wings. Something was wrong. But the hive needed food. Always needed food. 60,000 mouths to feed. The pressure was constant. So I flew out, headed towards my favorite flower patch, a garden about half a mile from the hive. Beautiful place. Roses, lavender, sunflowers, basically an all-you-can-eat buffet. The flight was smooth. The sun was shining. The wind was calm. I was feeling good, confident even. And then I heard it. That sound. A low roll at first, then louder, closer. I turned around in mid-air and, wait for it, a human, a small one, what you call a child, running towards the garden, arms flailing, mouth wide open, making that high-pitched noise you humans make when you're excited. And behind the child, another human, a larger one, carrying something in her hands. A blanket, a basket. They were setting up what you call a picnic, right in my flower patch. Now here's what you need to understand. Bees don't want trouble. We really don't. Despite what you think, we don't wake up and choose violence. We have work to do, places to be, pollen to collect. But humans see a bee and immediately assume we are planning an attack. You panic, you swat, you scream, and screaming makes everything worse. I tried to leave. I swear I did. I started flying away from the garden, looking for another patch. But the child saw me. Bee, bee, mummy, a bee. The worst part is yet to come. Time slowed down. I swear it did. The mother's head snapped toward me. Her eyes went wide. That look, I've seen it before. Pure, irrational terror. I'm 2 centimeters long, 2 centimeters, and she looked at me like I was a dragon. Make it make sense. She grabbed a magazine from the basket, rolled it up. You know what's coming. That rolled up magazine, for us, that's basically a medieval weapon. Might as well be Excalibur. Don't move, sweetie. Mummy will get it.
Get it. Get it. Like I'm a problem to be solved. Like I'm not just trying to do my job. She swung. I dodged. She swung again. Missed. I was doing barrel rolls in the air, trying to escape, but she kept coming. Persistent. You humans are nothing if not persistent when you're trying to kill things smaller than you. The child was screaming, the mother was swinging, and I was just trying to survive. My heart, well, we have something like a heart, it was pounding. My wings were burning. I had been flying all day, and now this? And then I made a mistake. I flew toward the trees, toward what I thought was safety, but I didn't see the child running in the same direction. We collided. Or rather, the child's arm collided with me. I bounced off, dazed, disoriented. I landed on the grass, trying to regain my senses. And then I heard the most terrifying sound of my life. The mother's footsteps, coming closer and closer. I tried to fly. My wings wouldn't respond. Too tired, too damaged. One of them was bent slightly from the collision. I was grounded, and she was coming. Don't worry, baby, it won't hurt you. It. I had a name. Well, I didn't actually, but still, it. The shadow fell over me. The magazine raised high. This is it, I thought. This is how it ends. Not in glory, not protecting my hive, just squashed in a garden by a woman in yoga pants. Is this my last day? And then something happened I never expected. The child moved, not away from me, toward me. Mummy, wait! Don't kill it! The magazine froze mid-air. Honey, it's a bee. It could sting you. But it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. I was definitely not just sitting there by choice. I was paralyzed with fear and exhaustion. But sure, let's call it sitting. The child crouched down, so close I could see every detail of their face. Round cheeks, curious eyes, a tiny finger reaching toward me. My stinger twitched. Instinct, pure instinct. But I didn't sting. I couldn't. Not this one. This one was different. See, Mummy, it's not scary. It's fuzzy, like a tiny teddy bear. Fuzzy, tiny teddy bear. I have never received a better compliment in my entire life. The mother hesitated. The magazine lowered slowly. The tension in the air began to dissolve. Okay, but don't touch it. It might still sting. I won't. I just want to look. And look she did. For what felt like forever, this tiny human and I just existed together. No fear, no violence, just 2 creatures sharing a moment. Here's the thing. I wanted to hate humans after everything they'd done to my kind. The pesticides, the habitat destruction, the constant attempts to murder us with magazines in shoes and tennis rackets. But this child saw me, really saw me, not as a pest, not a threat, just as a living thing. It gave me hope,
For the first time in my life, I thought, maybe we can coexist. Maybe not all humans are the enemy. Come on, sweetie, let's go eat lunch. Leave the bee alone. The child stood up, gave me one last look, and then they walked away. I lay there in the grass, breathing, just breathing, processing what had just happened. I survived. Against all odds, I survived. My wing recovered after a few minutes. I flew home slower than usual, replaying that moment over and over in my mind. That child saved my life. Remember that. It's important later. I returned to the hive, a changed bee. The near-death experience had shifted something inside me. I was more careful now, more aware. I avoided areas where humans gathered. I flew higher, stayed longer at each flower, reduced my trips outside. Self-care, you know. Even bees need it. Days passed. 10, 20. I was getting old for a foreigner. Most of us don't make it past 40 days. The work is too hard. The world is too dangerous. But I was still going, still flying, still providing for my hive. And then, day 42 came. I was in a different garden this time. Safer, I thought. Quieter. Just me and the flowers and the gentle hum of the wind. But here's the thing about thinking you're safe. That's usually when danger finds you. I was deep inside a rose when I felt it. A vibration, different from the wind, rhythmic, getting closer. I emerged from the flower and saw them. Wasps. 3 of them. Now you might think wasps and bees are basically the same thing. We're not. That's like saying wolves and golden retrievers are the same thing because they both have 4 legs. Wasps are predators. They eat meat. And you know what counts as meat? Bees. Me. Well, well, well. What do we have here? The largest wasp circled me slowly, menacing. His eyes were cold, dead, nothing like the warmth of my sister's eyes. Just a little bee, all alone, so far from home. I said nothing. My wings were already positioning for escape, but 3 against 1. The odds were not in my favor. Your kind destroyed our nest last season, remember? I didn't remember. I wasn't even alive last season. But did that matter to them? No. No, it did not. The 3 wasps closed in. Formation attack. They were professionals. My heart was pounding. My wings were burning. Every instinct screamed at me to run, to flee, to survive. But I thought about my hive, my sisters, the queen. If I died here, who would tell them? Who would warn them that wasps were hunting in this area? I had only one chance, just one. I dove, straight down as fast as my wings could carry me. The wasps followed, but I was smaller, more agile. I wove between stems and leaves, using every obstacle to my advantage. They were faster in open air, but in the garden, in the maze of plants and flowers, I had the edge. One wasp got tangled in a spiderweb. Rookie mistake. 2 left. I climbed suddenly, straight up toward the sun. They followed, blinded by the light. I dropped again, changing direction mid-flight. Another wasp crashed into a rose bush, thorns everywhere. She wouldn't be flying straight for a while. 1 left. But this one was the leader, the smart one. He wasn't falling for my tricks. We faced each other in mid-air, both exhausted, both determined. You're good for a bee. Thanks. You're terrible for a wasp. Not my best comeback, but I was under pressure. He charged. I dodged. He spun and charged again. This time, his mandibles caught my leg. Pain. Searing pain. I twisted, pulled free, left part of my leg behind, the price of survival. But I was still flying, still fighting. And then I saw it, my chance. A bird, a small bird perched on a branch nearby. Birds eat insects, all insects, including wasps. I flew toward the bird. Dangerous, yes. Stupid, maybe. But the wasp didn't know what I was doing. At the last second, I veered away. The wasp didn't. He flew straight into the bird's line of sight. Nature took care of the rest. I made it home that day, barely. 1.5 legs short, several wounds across my body, but alive. My sisters gathered around me when I returned. They could smell the wasp. They could sense my pain. They cleaned my wounds, fed me honey, kept me warm through the night. Family, real family. But the scars remained, not just the physical ones. Something had broken inside me, some innocence, some belief that the world was anything but cruel. For the next few days, I rested, healed, thought about everything. I thought about the child who saved my life. I thought about the wasps who tried to take it. I thought about what it means to exist in a world that constantly wants you dead. And then, day 45 arrived, the day where everything ended and began. The attack on the hive came without warning. A bear, a massive, hungry bear, tearing through our walls like paper. You think bees sting for fun. We sting to protect, to defend ourselves, to die for something greater than ourselves.
The queen's pheromones flooded the hive. Danger, defend, sacrifice. Every fiber of my being screamed at me to fight, but I hesitated. I knew what stinging meant. I knew the cost. One sting, one life, that's the trade. For bees, it's not like the movies. We don't sting and fly away. Our stinger has barbs. When it goes in, it doesn't come out, not without bringing our insides with it. So when we sting, we're choosing to die. The bear's paw crashed through another wall. Sisters were flying everywhere, stinging, dying, trying to stop the inevitable. But bears have thick skin. Our stings were barely slowing it down. And then I saw it. The bear's face was near an opening, near the queen's chamber. If it broke through there, everything would be lost. I had only one chance, one spot, the eye. I flew, faster than I'd ever flown, straight toward that massive, terrifying face. The world narrowed to a single point, a single purpose. Next time you try to kill a creature, just think, maybe that creature is protecting something it loves. Maybe that creature has a family. Maybe that creature is more like you than you realize. I hit the bear's eye, stinger first, and then peace. Was it worth it? The pain, the fear, the literal disembowelment? Yes, 1,000 times yes. Because my sting made the bear flinch, made it pull back, gave my sisters enough time to drive it away. The hive survived. The queen survived. Thousands of my sisters lived because I chose to die. You spend your lives searching for meaning, for purpose, for something worth dying for. I found mine in a single moment, a single choice. I am a bee. I died after one sting, and I would do it again every single time.
So here's my message to you. You, watching this on your little glowing rectangle at whatever hour of the night. We're more alike than you think. We work, we struggle, we love, we protect. The only difference, when we fight for our families, we don't get to come back. Next time you see a bee in your garden, maybe don't reach for the magazine. Maybe just watch for a moment. See us for what we are. Not pests, not threats, just tiny creatures, living tiny lives, fighting tiny battles, every single day. Thank you for listening to my story. I know it wasn't easy, the death part especially, kind of a downer. Sorry about that. But here's some good news. There are more stories to tell, more voices to hear. Next time, another story, another insect, another journey through the world from a perspective you never considered. Maybe an ant who survived the flood of 1,000 human tears, also known as a spilled coffee. Maybe a moth who fell in love with a lamp, a classic toxic relationship. Maybe a butterfly who remembers being a caterpillar and sometimes misses the simpler days. Until then, be kind, be curious, be gentle with the small things, because we're watching. We're always watching. Okay, that sounded creepy. I didn't mean it like that. We're just around, living our lives, hoping you'll live yours without squashing ours. Fair deal? I thought so. This has been, well, me, a bee, a worker, a sister, a warrior. Goodbye, and thank you for finally listening.